Hey guys, I hope you all are doing good. So for this tutorial, we will be integrating Django and React together. What I mean by this is that instead of having two separate servers, one front end and one back end, we will be having just one single server, which in our case will be Django server, and inside Django server we will be rendering React templates. So what I mean by this is that let's say we have all these URLs. All these URLs are built inside Django, but each of these page is rendered using React. So what's the purpose of this? Why are we doing this? This is because as Django is known for its backend capabilities, but for front end it is good but not the best. So as we know that React is known for the reusable component. So I thought of combining both of these together, and after combining and after making this symbolinsages.com, I found out that it works great. It really helps, like you can integrate any JavaScript library with React, which was not that easy with the Jinja templates. Now before building the application, the only dependencies this application has is Python 3 and Node. So you can either Google around and look for the installation part, or I will put the link in the description box and you can follow these articles. So the very first thing before starting out you have to do is verify your Python and Node version. So for this verification you just have to type the command as follow. For Python just type python -- version, and for Node type node -- version. Okay, I misspelled the command. Okay, so if you see something like this, it means that Python and Node are installed on your system. If not, then I would suggest you that you follow the articles or just Google around if you're stuck with some problems. If you already have an existing Django application and you want to integrate React with it, then I would suggest that you first create a demo application, follow this tutorial and learn this approach, and then implement this in your existing project. Okay, so let's start with installing Django. I already have this installed. You can install it using the command pip install Django, and then install another thing, djang-webpack-loader. I also have this installed too. So for the time being, I will later tell you what's the use of these packages, but first you have to follow this tutorial. Now create a Django project and let's name it conf. Okay, install there. Now let's make 3 directories. For now you can just follow the commands I just said. Okay, you can just check your directory structure. It should be something like this. Now let's just configure some files. Now open your settings.py. Okay, and here inside the templates list add not this. Okay, first at the bottom add some static settings. Now we need to import the OS library. Import OS. Okay, it's imported. Now add the templates directory inside this template list here. Okay, we are done with this file. Next thing, we need to configure the urls.py. Okay, so just add this line here, if settings.debug, and then add this line. Okay, this will make it accessible, I guess. So okay, we just need settings too from Django django.conf import settings. Okay, we are good to go now. Now again switch back to your terminal and create an app named pages. Okay, let's add this app to our installed app inside settings.py. Here, pages. Let's add two views to the pages views.py. Okay, you can just add this, and now add URLs to these pages. So create a file inside pages urls.py urls.py and add URLs to those pages. Index 1, index 2, this is pointing to this view, and this is pointing to the index 2 view. Now update our main urls.py. Okay, so here is our main urls.py and add the URLs to this. Okay, we need this import include here. So now we need to create these two templates, index 1 and index 2. Let's create these inside templates directory, index1.html. Okay, so I pasted this. Next thing is let's add another template, index2.html. Add this. Only change in both of this template is here it's index 2, here it's index 1. Now I believe that Django's part is in. We can verify this by just opening your terminal and run the Django server. Okay, now let's check the browser. It should be localhost 8000. Okay, so I guess it's working. Index 1 and index 2. Now we need to configure the other part of this tutorial, that is React. So before configuring React, let's check that whether npx is installed on your system or not. Okay, so it gets installed with the node, but in case if it's not installed, and you can verify this by using this command, then again please Google around and install this. Now once you have installed this, then change your directory inside frontend and run this command to create a simple React app. npx create React app. This creates a React app, and then dot is to create inside this directory. The base directory will be the same directory that we are currently in. It will take few minutes, depends on the internet connection. So it's installed now. The next thing is we need to install all the other dependencies. So I'm just pasting this command. Okay, so this will again take few minutes. So all these dependencies are installed now. We need to create two new files here at the same directory frontend, and then we need to make two directories sets. Okay, you might be thinking that why are we creating all these directories and these libraries, but I would say that you need to follow this tutorial, and at the end of this video or tutorial you will get to know that it all will make sense, that how these directories are interlinked with each other. Now let's set up webpack.config.js that we just created, and you can also follow this article that I have written. I will put the link in the description box. So first copy all the thing that is here, and now open your webpack.config.js inside frontend directory and paste all these things. Now the next thing is just copy this and paste inside .babel rc. Okay, and the next thing is inside package.json, copy all these things. Okay, and open your package.json and just replace each of these things. Okay, so I have had some scripts written here, like build, watch and start. It will make sense soon. Now we have to add this webpack-loader to the installed apps. Now open your settings.py and below pages, inside in string, add this webpack-loader. Okay, and add these settings to one is front-end directory. Okay, and okay, I guess let's just copy to the end and let's move to the bottom, add all these static URL. I guess we need to remove these things. Okay, now okay, now update your templates index1 and index2.html, load webpack generated files. Okay, so let's first copy these templates. Copy index1. Okay, so I guess the thing that changed here is this: we imported render bundle and then we added something here and something here. Okay, now so before explaining everything, let's first test whether this thing runs or not, whatever we did till now. So for development purpose, just copy this. We have to run two separate terminals. Okay, the very first one is npm run watch. Oh, something is wrong. I was not expecting this, but let's try running npm install, and what this will do, this will install all the packages with their same version inside package.json. Packages are installed again. Now let's try again npm run watch. Okay, so it ran, but something is wrong again. Okay, I figured it out. So I feel like we do need to have a source folder, and let's check what's inside it. Okay, there is index.js. So why is it saying we can't resolve web? Okay, at the same time you also need to run your Django server at another terminal for the development purpose. Don't know why it's doing this. Can't resolve web vitals. Let's try installing this npm install. So I've installed that package web vitals and now run it again. Okay, so I guess this works this time. So refresh this page. Okay, so as you can see that these are changed, the design is changed. Let's check our source code, inspect. Okay, so you can see that this JavaScript file. Okay, let's open it. So as you can see that this is not made by us, this is generated by Webpack. And by now, so how is this all working? It seems to be a little bit complicated. I find this complicated when I first started it, but now I'm pretty much used to it. Let me explain you. You have first open your conf.urls.py and these are the two main URLs, and this is the root URL which is pointing to page.urls. Now open page URLs, and inside page URLs there are two main URLs. One is the root and then another is the index2. Root is pointing to the index1 view and this is pointing to index2 view. Open your views.py. So let's first understand this index1.html. now open this index1.html and let's see what's happening inside here. As you can see that here we have imported this load render bundle from Webpack loader, and this Webpack loader is same which we installed previously with the command pip install Django Webpack-loader. So what this does, this helps us in using the file generated by React into Django, and this is the command that is doing all the system. So we are using render bundle here to import CSS and to import JS here. Okay, so here the main thing is this static files. This is the bundle name. Now what is the bundle name? Okay, so if you open webpack.config.js, you see that this line, this entry, this is what we call bundle name. And for every URL wherever you want to include React, you have to create a separate bundle. Okay, let me explain you. Let's say you want to use React in this page. So for this, let's open the template which is index2, and let's copy all these things, vendor, and then for CSS which is below this, it will load the CSS files, and then for the JS. Now let's name this to index2 and this also to index2. Now I would say open your webpack.config.js and create another bundle index2. And so right now this is pointing to index.js, so they both should show same pages, and you can see that this is automatically refreshed. Okay, so this is index1 and this is index2. They both are showing the same pages. Now I am assuming that you are familiar with React a little bit, so let's make some changes inside this index.js. Okay, so first of all let's open this, and this is asking, this is just fetching a root element, so we need to give an ID here. Let's give an ID root so that it renders all these files and JSs and all the functionality inside this element, this root element. Okay, now let's refresh. Okay, this is not rendering anything. It means there are some errors. React is not defined with this. Let's try to install React, npm install React. Hope this works. Okay, so it's installed now. Let's run it again. Npm run watch. Just close and open the server again. Let's try this. React is not defined. What does this mean? Index.js and then inside app saying React is not defined. I don't understand. Let's try to import here. Import React. Import React from React and refresh. Okay, now as you can see that React is working at index2, and if we make any changes, let's add a p tag here and add hello. We can see that it works, and if we go to the root directory, it should not show up React, because we know that this is happening, because as you can see the error is target container is not a DOM element, because If we go to the index one, it is looking for an element root with an id root, and we go to the root template, we can see that there is no root element. Now we need to add root, and it should also work in this place. Okay, so it is working now. We just see that how this worked, and when we are running this in development, then we need to open two separate terminals, one for the React or reload, and another is for Django's run server. Now what in production, the whole point of this is to run the whole application in a single server. So for production, you can just run the command npm run build, and this will create the scripts. It has finished creating scripts. Now let me show you what just happened. You can, if you look just inside the assets/test folder, you can see that there are a lot of files, JS files, and there are, I guess all files are JS files, and these files are created by this Webpack. And also there is another file, Webpack stats.json, and this is a file where it puts the log, like what is the name of the file and what is the path of the file it is located, where it is located, and all this stuff. Now Webpack-loader, which we installed and loaded here, so what it does, it looks inside Webpack stats.json and pulls the file using the bundle name. So as we can see that after running the build command, it has generated. Now let's run the run server command and let's check whether this works in production or not. So we can see that the watch command is off, still it's working. This is because Webpack is looking for the file inside the assets directory. I hope that it is clear, but if it is not, then you can just add the comments below and I will definitely answer them.